this previous session. This is just really a good collaboration between ourselves and as administration, that element of the Martimili exercise and what happens out on country, and that cultural ownership of how it is run and what they display. And it was just great recognition on the night that we were awarded this this award. We certainly, I spoke very briefly about the boring part we do, and in our support of it, and we made a big thing about, with Sylvia speaking on behalf of Martimili, the First Nations people, and she did an awesome job of explaining what it is and how important it is to our community. So it was a good outcome.
Thank you. And then additionally, we've got the 2024 National Airport Industry Awards for the small regional RPT Airport of the Year. So I was privileged to be able to accept this on behalf of the of council, but furthermore, the extensive work that the Shire administration has done in conjunction around the collaboration with Kalkania Bali and the architects and all the stakeholders involved. So we won that last week, and you see a photo up there on the screen. And I can't remember what the comedian's name is, but he was there. And Peter. Old mate Peter. He was good. Yeah. So thank you to all the hard work that the teams put into both them awards. So thank you. Item 9, application for leave of absence. There has been none received, but are there any? So we do have a meeting in about 2 weeks' time, if anybody... No? Okay, cool. No, this is an application, yeah? Oh, sorry, applications. Sorry, for today is Peter and, sorry, Councillor Bear and Councillor Landy. Are there any further requests? Sorry. Sorry? Okay. So there is no request for leave of absence. Moving on to item 10. Oh, sorry, Peter's hasn't been approved yet. Right. Okay. Sorry. Can I please have a mover and a seconder for the following motion, that the leave of absence be granted to Councillor Peter Bear and Councillor Annabelle Landy for the ordinary council meeting of 29 November 2024. Mover, please. Councillor Lockyer, thank you. Thank you, Councillor Cooler, as a seconder. I shall now put this to the vote, please. Is this the vote? I haven't done this one yet. Okay. Did mine come through? Cool. All right. It's the first time I've done it. Thank you. And Councillor Chapman, if you could just, are you happy to support that leave of absence?
Come again?
This is for the leave of absence. I'm putting it to the vote for Councillor Bear and Councillor Landy. Are you in support of that?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. All for and none against. It's carried. Move on to item 10, which is confirmation of minutes for previous council meeting. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. 10.1, minutes of the ordinary and confidential council meeting held on 27 September 2024 have been circulated. September or October? That should be 25th of October.
Yes.
2024 have been circulated and published on the Shire's website. I note a correction from Councillor McWhirter Brooks to item 11, members' reports, which should read September 5, 2024, 10 a.m. Simon Taylor, CEO, Pilbara Development Commission. That correction has now been made to those minutes. So, as presented before you, the Office recommendation reads that the corrected ordinary and confidential minutes of the council meeting held on 25 October 2024 as published on the Shire's website and councillor portal be confirmed as a true and correct record of proceedings. May I get a mover, please? Councillor McWhirter Brooks, seconder. Councillor Lockyer, thank you. Are there any further changes to be made? I shall now put this to the vote, please. All those in favour, if you could do it on your computer. Councillor Chapman, are you in favour?
Yep.
Thank you very much. Does this pop up and tell me it's good?
No, but we've got.
Okay. Well, yeah, might be an improvement.
Yeah, it's.
Okay, cool. No, spot on. I'm just new to this online stuff as well. Okay, members' reports. Council members' written reports will be included in the minutes. Are there any further members' reports for this meeting?
You got it.
No, you're right. You go around that way. I just wanted to add that I attended the Wongalampa Kajunka meeting with the
Lunch?
lunch.
Yep.
And I wasn't here for the last one, so it was good to just go and show face and see what it's about. So it seemed like a positive response from the attendees. We also did the Matamili opening and the LEMAC meeting. Got to chair that. That was fun. It was so exciting. Good to see all the organisation, different agencies working together and obviously talking through their challenges that they have, and it's. Oh wait.
Is that all?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And just kudos to, the community team for the Sports and Community Award. I think they did a very good job bringing that together. It was really good to see, the community represented well. But I wanted to ask, last year we did a dial-in with the other towns. Was that still an option or no? How do we celebrate them?
So yes, it is still an option, and I think it comes to the wider issue of ensuring that we get nominations from throughout the district.
Yeah, that's I think.
Thank you.
Yep, that's everything from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Lockyer. Councillor Maguire-Brooks.
Yes, I just wanted to make comment on, I've submitted my reports directly to Sally, but I wanted to make comment on last week I attended the Walga and Main Roads road safety 3-day education, and I just wanted to commend it to you as a really worthwhile thing to do. It was more than just looking at road safety, crosswalks and driver behaviour. We looked at what sort of treatments councils can put into into the roads that we've got to slow traffic down, to reduce speeding, and also there was considerable consultation on the way we engage with the community about road safety. And we explored also some avenues where we could be advocates for road safety. So I do commend that. It's a 3-day course. It's free. There is no charge because it's sponsored by Walga and Main Roads. And thank you to the Shire's budget for sponsoring my accommodation and travel to get to it. But I really commend that to councillors, that if you have any interest in the way that people move around their towns, that's by bicycle, feet, cars, buses, anything, any way of getting around, the safety of them is paramount, and it was super. Thank you.
Thank you. Just on that, it's there is one provision for planned to have in Headland, I believe, early next year. So, good.
Yeah, that would make it quite easy for members here. The course that I did, there were about they capped it at about 30 odd participants. Of those, I was the only elected member because it is open to officers as well. There were 2 engineers. There was one graduate and one a little bit further up the tree engineer from Port Hedland, and they have had almost all of their engineering staff through it, and I think they've had 4 out of their councillors, at a rough guess, have been through it as well. Ashburton have had one of their councillors do this program. But I would, if when it does come to Port Hedland, I'd commend it to you to get in and do it. They have, good networking events at it as well. I'll give a plug for that.
Thank you, Councillor Brooks. I guess additionally to mine, the main ones to note, Stars of the Year's Pilbara, as Councillor Lockyer spoke about. It's a great night to support those that give so much to the community. So I guess it's a thank you to the wider community and the volunteers that won awards, but not only the award winners, but the nominees and all those that weren't acknowledged, because that necessarily doesn't mean that they don't do anything. But congratulations to everybody and all volunteers across the wider community, all our towns and communities, because they do great work and the social fabric wouldn't be the same without them. Stephen and I, sorry? Stephen and I have joined the Shire has joined the Mining Cities Alliance, which is an alliance of like-minded cities, Karratha, Kalgoorlie, Isaac, Council, Mount Isa, Broken Hill, etc. Now, we will see how we go with that. However, we had the first meeting this week and it looks very favourable. All the people involved in it and members have exactly the same challenges as we have around FIFO, DIDO, accommodation, the cost of living, retention of people in towns, etc., etc. So we are definitely. I think it's beneficial that we're members. It's small fee to have joined. We'll suck it and see for 12 months, but the initial thought around that is very beneficial to us. We're a group of people that are speaking the same tune to all levels of government, and we can use the WA ones for state, and obviously the wider national for federal. So it's around you might remember the More Than Mining campaign around the fringe benefits tax that has come through before. So that sits with them as well. So we'll see how that goes going forward. And I guess the Pilbara Country Zone last week, more so around the presentations, and it was mentioned about getting more presentations at our council meetings. So, one was around tourism and one was around the training allowance for trainees and apprentices from a state government initiative. So I think presentations like that are definitely valuable for wider council to take on and have prior to a meeting or however that may work out going forward. So we did discuss last night, we'll probably have some sort of workshop and as council and understand who we want to try and get presentations from, whether it be Development WA or whoever it may be, and we'll triage that list and then task the administration to go out and seek their interest in presenting to us on council meeting days. So that's it from me for members' reports. Is there any more before I move on? Thank you. 12.1.1, the intention to impose fee Newman Airport vehicle storage. So the recommendation reads that 1, adopts an amendment to the 2024-25 schedule of fees and charges with respect to vehicle storage at Newman Airport as detailed in the agenda. 2, imposes the amended 2024-25 fees and charges schedule as per Appendix 1 to the report in accordance with Section 6.163B of the Local Government Act 1995 with effect from 16 December 2025. 3, authorise the Chief Executive Officer to give local public notice of the adopted fees and charges as amended pursuant to Section 6.19 of Local Government Act 1995, and 4, authorise the Chief Executive Officer to impose terms and conditions on the use of the Newman Airport parking facilities and to prepare an indemnity against any claims made against it arising out of the use of the Newman Airport parking facilities. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Lockyer, thank you. Seconder, Councillor McWhirter-Brooks. Would the mover like to speak?
No, I just wanted to query whether or not this is something that we want to encourage, that they keep the vehicles there, or is it something that we're just doing in the meantime?
So I think the issue we have every year is all the hire cars come back and they all go on holidays, and then they try and stack our long-term car park and short-term car park. So this is something they're pretty keen on, and I think it would manage that issue of where can they store cars in a safe way. We have no responsibility. What we're proposing is that we have no responsibility for safety. All we're actually really doing is saying this is a space you can park the car, and for that you'll pay us a small fee, and that gives it's servicing the community in a way. So I think it's something we have to do, or we just put it back on the responsibility of the miners or the mining companies to have somewhere to store these cars. But this is one solution. Otherwise, they'll just park all over the place.
So it's just an overflow
Yes.
for their quiet season.
Yep.
They're not shipping them in and out.
No, this is only
Yeah.
a small window. So,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. Councillor Werder Brooks?
Yes, are we planning to fence that region?
No. So the intention, if it's going to be fenced, it'll be a stick with a rope on it saying this is the area, that's it. There's no security, there's no liability to us. We're just giving you somewhere to park your car. Please make sure you don't have the keys in it, that type of thing. That's all on you. Yep.
Thank you. I think it's the gates at the long-term parking don't work, so it's a way to bring in some cash, I suppose, some other way. Not a way to skin a cat. So anyway, we'll move on. So this is an absolute majority decision of council required for this item. So we now put that to the vote, please. Thank you. Acknowledged online, and Councillor Werder Brooks.
Oh,
Everyone else good?
It's here. Very slow.
Thank you. All for and none against. The item is carried. 12.1.2, the policy review, pre-qualified supplier panels, recommendation reading that council accepts the review and adopts the revised pre-qualified supplier panel policy attached to Appendix 1 in the report. A mover, please. Councillor Lockyer, seconder. Councillor Werder Brooks. Councillor Lockyer, you wish to speak?
No, I just think it's a good way to sort of add structure to the way we do things. So, yeah.
Acknowledged, thank you. Councillor Werder Brooks.
Yeah, note the tidy ups, thank you.
Thank you. Any other councillor wish to speak? We'll put that one to the vote, please. Milton, are you for that one?
Yep.
Yep, thank you. 6-0. Excellent. Are you working again, Councillor Werder Brooks?
I am.
Excellent. Good work. 12.1.3, the Chief Executive Officer's Annual Remuneration Review Policy. Then the recommendation reading that Council accepts the review and adopts the Chief Executive Officer Annual Remuneration Review Policy, Appendix 1. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Werder Brooks, seconder. Councillor Everett. Councillor McWhirter Brooks, do you wish to speak?
No, nothing to add, thank you.
Councillor Everett.
No, nothing to add there.
Anybody else wish to speak? I shall now put item 12.1.3 to the vote. Thank you. Yeah, I've acknowledged yours. Thank you. Councillor Chapman.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, that's it.
That's it? All done? 6 for and against. Thank you. 12.1.4, the new policy, Community and Commercial Tenancies Policy, with the recommendation reading that Council endorses the draft Community and Commercial Tenancies Policy attached as Appendix 1 for public consultation. Mover, please. Councillor McWhirter Brooks. Seconder, please. Councillor Lockyer, thank you. Councillor McWhirter Brooks. Thank you. Councillor Lockyer.
No, I'd just be interested once this starts moving through how this plays out, and I think it's really important that we take it on board because this is, again, adding structure to the way we do things. So,
Yep. I think we touched on it in information bulletin as well, so excellent. Any other remarks? Okay, I shall now put 12.1.4 to the vote, please. Councillor Chapman, you for that one? Thank you. 6-0, thank you very much. Moving on to 12.1.5, the meeting times. Council and committee meetings for 2025. So as presented before you, the recommendation reading that Council 1 adopts the dates, times and places for ordinary council meetings as detailed in the agenda. 2, authorise the President to amend the start time of ordinary council meetings to facilitate community engagement activities and inspections as required. 3, adopts the dates, times and places for meetings of the Audit, Risk and Governance Committee and CEO Performance Committees as detailed in the agenda. 4, authorise the President to change the date and time of the committee meetings as required. And 5, publishes the dates, times and place of council and committee meetings in accordance with Regulation 12.2 of the Local Government Administration Regulations of 1996. Can I please get a mover for that? Thank you, Councillor Lockyer. Councillor Werder-Brooks is a seconder. Councillor Lockyer, you wish to speak?
Yes, I appreciate the effort put into giving us some information around why we choose and history on the times. The only query I have, and I guess reservation, is what is it? The recommendation number 4 around the President authorising change of date and time as required. I just want to make sure that if that does arise, that it's in the best interest of all members and not just a select, because and it has happened where things have happened and we haven't had the opportunity to say whether we agree or not agree with time changes or locations and whatnot, and it's just want to make sure that we're all considered when these changes arise, should they arise.
Yep, so we could add to that and say in consultation with other council members.
Or, yeah, like as long as there's a majority or something, yeah.
In consultation with.
Yeah.
Because we talk about, as long as it's noted that we.
Yeah, because.
Be informed and talk about before the decision.
Yeah, just recognising that sometimes there's conversations or, things happen that not everyone is included in. So we want to make sure that we're all get the opportunity because, as you can see, attendance is really important, and when there's one not available, it's really hard to, or two, it becomes hard to do our role around making good decisions.
Thank you. Councillor Werder-Brooks as a seconder before I go on. Oh, no, sorry. You were first and then Councillor Lockie was second. Okay, cool. Just wanted to add to that. Do we want to put a time frame around that? So minimum of a week or something notice? Yeah, I just think that because it then captures that we've got the,
Yep, I agree. That's good. And to be honest, we're not the ones that are expected to travel. So our, remote communities and smaller towns are the ones that probably bear the brunt of the late notice. So, yeah, if it suits them.
Look, I think
that's kind of you to mention that, Lou, but you are expected to travel 3 times a year to 2 marble bars and a Nullagine, so it works. It works the whole way round. So we've got it. If you're coming to Marble Bar, I think it's just as important that we consider Newman residents as well.
That wasn't the point I was trying to make.
No, I know, because you're saying, I know what you're saying. You're saying that other than 3 times a year, the other 8 times a year, Lee and I, Annabelle and Milton are perhaps travelling in from Marble Bar. And I acknowledge that. I thank you for that. But I want to say we need to consider too that there's 3 times a year that we need you to come to Marble Bar and to Nullagine.
I think additionally we need to keep in mind as well that the changing of meetings really hasn't occurred previously. It hasn't been a common theme, so it's not like it's going to happen, every single meeting. So it's one of them things. What do we got there? So Councillor Werder-Brooks is the no. What have I done here? Sorry, it's Councillor Lockie did move it. My bad. So Councillor Lockie, are you happy with what's written on the screen?
Oh, I should have looked here. Yes, I can't really see there.
Councillor Werder-Brooks as a seconder, are you happy? Yes, please. Joshua, could you please read that for the everyone here and for Milton? Thank you.
So the amended part 4 of the motion reads, authorises the president to change the date and time. Oh, sorry, it's actually, sorry, this needs to be on part 2 rather than part 4. So the words are authorises the president to amend the start time of ordinary council meetings to facilitate community engagement activities and inspections as required. Sorry, can you scroll back down, sorry. As required with other council members with at least 1 week's notice.
Yep.
And we'll put that in part 4 as well, so it applies to committee meetings also.
Thank you.
So can you just
Happy with that?
in consult?
Excellent. So as stated, we shall put to the vote item 12.1.5, please. Councillor Chapman, are you happy with that?
Yep.
Thank you. Six nil. Thank you very much. We move on. 12.1.6, the status of council decisions, which the officer's recommendation reads that council notes the report. A mover, please. Councillor Werder-Brooks. Seconder, Councillor Everett. Councillor Werder-Brooks, do you wish to speak?
Nothing to add, thank you.
Councillor Everett.
No, nothing to add, thanks.
Any other councillor wish to speak? We'll put this 12.1.6 to the vote, please. Councillor Chapman, you in favour?
Yep.
Thank you. 6-0. Moving on to 12.1.7, affixing the common seal under delegated authority. So the officer's recommendation reads that council notes the report. Again, a mover, please. Councillor Werder-Brooks, seconder. Councillor Cooler. Councillor Werder-Brooks, you wish to speak?
Nothing to add, thank you.
Councillor Cooler.
Nothing to add, thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else? We'll put this one to the vote, please. Councillor Chapman, you happy?
Yep.
Thank you. I did it. Excellent. 6-0. Moving on to 12.2.1, the approval of sole source supply arrangement. With the recommendation reading that council approves Vocus Group of the company as a sole supplier for the supply of fibre infrastructure in accordance with Regulation 11.2F of the Local Government Functions and General Regulations 1996 for the following reasons. 1, Vocus is the only vendor that can supply exclusive fibre access in Newman. 2, advantageous pricing based on Vocus Group installation team being in Newman during their project. And for the avoidance of doubt, the approval does not commit council to enter any contract with Vocus Group. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Werder-Brooks. Seconder, Councillor Everett. Councillor Werder-Brooks, do you wish to speak?
No, nothing to add.
Thank you. Councillor Everett?
No, nothing to add. It's just consultation anyway, isn't
It is consultation and questions and seeking further information. Thank you. Any other comments from council? Excellent. I shall now put 12.2.1 to the vote, please. You happy for that, Councillor Chapman?
Yep.
Thank you. 6-0 is carried. 12.2.2, the policy review for asset management policy. That council accepts the review and revokes asset management policy adopted 25 June 2021, attached as Appendix 1, and adopts the new draft asset management policy attached as Appendix 2. A mover, please. Thank you, Councillor Lockyer. Seconder, Councillor Werder-Brooks. Thank you. Councillor Lockyer, you wish to speak?
No, all good.
Thank you. Councillor Werder-Brooks.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak? We'll put 12.2.2 to the vote, please. All those in favour? Councillor Chapman? Thank you.
Yeah.
6-0. We move on to 12.2.3, the monthly financial statements, insurance and investment report as at 31 October 2024. That council adopts the monthly financial statements for the period ending 31 October 2024 of the 2024-2025 financial year, included as appendices 1 and 2 to the report. Mover, please. Councillor Werder-Brooks. Seconder. Councillor Lockyer. The mover like to speak.
No, thank you, I'm happy.
The seconder like to speak.
No, it's a thorough report, so thank you.
Thank you. Does any other council member wish to speak? 12.2.3 to the vote. Councillor Chapman, are you happy with that?
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you. 6-0. We move on to the list of payments for October 2024 as presented before you. The officer's recommendation reads that Council endorses the below payments for the period 1 October 2024 to 31 October 2024 as listed in the agenda. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Guetta-Brooks. Seconder? Yep, Councillor Lockyer. Councillor Guetta-Brooks, you used to speak.
No, thank you, I'm happy.
Councillor Lockyer. Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak? 12.2.4 to the vote. Councillor Chapman, you happy with that?
Yeah.
Thank you. 6-4 and none against. The 12.2.5, the register of delegations and authorisations amendments defer, grant, discounts, waive or write off debt. As amended, attachment has been uploaded to resolve and circulated in the chamber. As presented before you, the officer's recommendation reads that Council adopts the amendment to delegation 1.2.20, defer, grant, discounts, waive or write off debts as detailed in Appendix 1. Can I get a mover, please? Thank you, Councillor Everett. Seconder, Councillor Guetta-Brooks, thank you. Councillor Everett, do you wish to speak?
No, nothing to add.
Seconder, do you wish to speak?
Nothing to add, thank you.
Please note this is an absolute majority. We'll now put, does anybody else wish to speak? Thank you. We'll put it to the vote, please, noting that it is an absolute majority of council decision. Councillor Chapman, are you happy?
Yeah.
Thank you. 6-4, none against. We move on to 13.1.1, the minutes of the Local Emergency Management Committees, November 2024, with the recommendation reading that Council notes the minutes of the meetings of the Shire of East Pilbara Local Emergency Management Committees held as follows: Mubblebar 6 November 2024, Nullagine 7 November 2024 and Newman 8 November 2024. A mover, please. Councillor Guetta-Brooks. Seconder, Councillor Lockyer. Councillor Guetta-Brooks, do you wish to speak?
No, thank you.
Councillor Lockyer. Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak? 13.1.1 to the vote, please. Are you happy for that, Councillor Chapman?
Yep.
Thank you. Sorry?
I don't have anything on my screen.
Oh, yours hasn't come up? Okay, thank you. 6-4 and none against. Item 14, there is nil motions for which previous notice has been given. There is, for 15, there is nil questions by members for which due notice has been given. And for item 16, there has been no new business of an urgent nature introduced by a decision of council. Which brings us to item 17, the confidential matters behind closed doors. So, council members, may I please have a mover and a seconder that item 17.1.1, proposed property acquisition staff housing, 17.2.1, the award of tender RFT 06-2024/25 oval lighting upgrades, 17.2.2, the RFQ 03-2024/25 Nullagine Aquatic Centre paving and concrete works, 17.3.1, the Regional Precincts and Partnerships Program Stream 2 Precincts Delivery Council contribution, and 17.3.2, appointment of senior employee. Of the agenda be dealt with behind closed doors in accordance with section 5.232 of the Local Government Act 1995. Councillor Lockyer, thank you. Seconder, Councillor Guetta-Brooks. That one to the vote, please. Are you happy to go behind closed doors, Councillor Chapman?
Yeah.
Thank you. So the live stream will be paused during the closed session. The decisions made by council in consideration of these items will be made available for public. The closed session published within the minutes of the meeting for your information. So the time now is 11:08 a.m. and the meeting is now closed to the public. Can the government staff please confirm the live stream has been stopped? Thank Item 17.1.1, proposed acquisition. Purchase of property A as detailed in the confidential report up to the purchase of the property to sign and execute the contract documents for sale, subject to undertaking all necessary due diligence and within the ceiling price identified in the confidential report. This resolution was passed 6-0. 6 in favour and 0 against. Item 17.1.2, the award of tender RFT 06-2024/25 oval lighting upgrades. The council awards a tender RFT 06-2024/25 for the low lighting upgrades, separable portions to National Grid Link Power for the contracted price of $852,048 GST exclusive for separable portion 1. 2 awards tender RFT 06-2024/25 for oval lighting upgrades, separable portions to National Grid Link Power for the contracted price of $103,924.39 GST excluded for separable portion 2. And 3 authorise the Chief Executive Officer to approve any minor contract variations during the contract's duration in accordance with the Council's minor variation policy. This resolution passed 6 in favour and none against. 17.2.2 RFQ 03-2024/25 Nullagine Aquatic Centre paving and concrete works. The recommendation was that council not accept any offers received for RFQ 03-2024/25 concrete and paving works Nullagine Aquatic Centre in accordance with Regulation 18.5 the Local Government Functions and General Regulations 1996. 2, authorise the Chief Executive Officer or delegate to enter into direct negotiations with any suitably experienced contractor for a contract of these works at the Nullagine Aquatic Centre with no variation to the scope of works as tendered within the allocated budget. 3, authorise in the event of unsuccessful negotiations the Chief Executive Officer to invite tenders for these works at Nullagine Aquatic Centre with a variation to the scope of works, which passed 6-0. 17.3.1, the Regional Precincts and Partnerships Program Stream to Precinct Delivery Council contribution. The recommendation read that Council authorises the non-publication of this resolution in accordance with Section 5.232C and E of the Local Government Act, which passed 6-0. And 17.3.2, appointment of senior employee, that Council accepts the Chief Executive Officer's proposal to employ the senior employee as detailed in the confidential report in accordance with Section 5.372 of the Local Government Act 1995, which also passed 6-0. These decisions will be incorporated into the minutes of today's meeting and published on the Shire's website for our community and general public to be confirmed at the 13 December 2024 Ordinary Council meeting. Item 18, date of the next meeting, which I've just mentioned as being the 13th December 2024, will be held in the Newman Council Chambers. And 19, the closure, there being no further business. I now declare the Shire East Pilbara Ordinary Council meeting 29 November 2024 closed at 11:42 a.m. Thank you for your attendance and participation. Have a good day.